Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Samuel here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about starting your own business and maybe anybody's thinking about starting their own business, maybe give them some advice if I can. Might not be the best person to give out some advice, but here's a button. But just give my 2 bits, and really what I wanted to explain is there's a lot of people that think owning their own business or starting their own business is like freedom. It's a step to freedom. They're like, oh, if I could just own my own business, run in my own hours, go to work when I want to, and all that. And I've been there, been down that road, and I love, I'm a business owner. I love being a business owner. But being a business owner just isn't for everybody. There's certain people are cut out for it and certain people that are not. So if you're going to start a business, you need to be passionate about what you do, passionate about systems, passionate about business. Don't just be like, oh, I'd like to make a lot of money and have, control my own hours. That's a myth that's out there. That it's people like, oh, you own your own business, you're successful, and they don't see that a lot of times business owners make just as much money, if not less, than they would if they went and worked a regular job. And I'm talking about the average business with 1 to 4 employees. I'm not talking about mega companies. That's obviously a different story. But who's going to go and start a mega company overnight? That doesn't happen. But just talking about the guy that does a little bit of carpentry work, mows lawns, has a little landscaping business like myself, and so on. So to give you a little bit of an example as best as I can here, a lot of people see mowing yards. You mow yard, it takes you 15 minutes, and you make $50. And you're like, whoa, $50, Or let's say it takes you 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, 20 minutes, somewhere in that range. And you're like, they make $50 for 20 minutes. That's a lot of money. I only make $18 an hour, let's say, But what they don't see is all the behind the scenes stuff. There's so many stuff, and I even have a hard time explaining it, but your overhead when you start a business is way higher. All your expenses. It's not just mowing. If you went and got a push mower that you already owned and walked over there and mowed it and then came back, well then yes, you would get the $50. But if you want to grow beyond that, there's a whole nother level of things that it requires. Trailers, trucks, mowers, blowers, weed eaters, equipment, and maybe an employee. There's a lot of stuff. And then you have overhead. Now, if you have everything, you own it, cash down, great. But most people don't. Most people don't have the money to own everything right up front, so they end up taking a loan, which was our case. We took loans out for most of the stuff. Not everything, but most of the stuff we have. And so there's a lot of overhead, and one day that you don't work or 1 week that you don't work really just hurts your business. And that's kind of diving maybe slightly into a different subject, but what I'm trying to get at, I guess mainly is, yes, you can run a little business and you can make some money and everything's great, but a business owner wears many different hats. That's really the point I'm trying to nail here. If you're going to own your own business, you're going to be the accountant, you're going to be the financial manager, you're going to be the manager, you're going to be the worker, you're going to be, the guys that stays up writing out the bid, the guy that talks to the client, the guy that, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but basically you wear every single hat of the business. You're the CEO, the CFO, the COO, and all the other titles you can name down the list. You wear all those hats. You're everybody, and you're one person. So you're going to be up late at night doing estimates, getting things ready. You're going to be up early in the morning trying to get stuff done. You're going to be working around the clock. Your phone's always ringing. Every little minute your phone's ringing. You're talking to a client. You're talking to one of your work guys, and there's a lot involved. So you don't work your regular 8-hour shift, 8 or 9 hours. You're working 12 to 14 hours. So in a way, it can be very stressful. It can be very stressful. So not everybody's cut out for that. That's kind of what I'm going to briefly explain is, being a business owner is not everything it's made out to be. A lot of times there's a stat that I read. I think it was like, I want to say it. I really should look this up because I'm going to quote it wrong. But most businesses, small businesses, make about $42,000 a year is what the business owner makes. And an average person makes 52 or up a year. So it's not like, owning your own business, you're going to make mega money. That's a big myth. There's so many expenses in a business. I mean, in a business, when you run a business and your truck breaks down, now you're 1 day behind. You have people calling you, why didn't you mow my yard? Or why didn't this? Why didn't you show up? And it's the craziness. Any little thing that goes wrong and just chaos, all just a chaos. If you get sick, for a day or two or a week, you just can't afford it. Most guys, they get sick, they work sick. There's no option. There's just no alternative. You can't call in sick. You'll lose your clients. That's really what it comes down to. You can't just say, I don't want to call in sick. Just little things, and I hope I'm explaining. I'm not doing a very good job explaining it, but just the myths that owning your own business, if you're thinking about starting your own business because you want more free time, then don't do it. And if you think you're going to start your own business to make more money, then don't do it. On the other hand, a business can be very, very lucrative. But to be very lucrative, you need to create business with systems. That's a whole nother subject. A business with systems, which means you need to go beyond just you and two other guys. You need to create a corporation or a big business. You have to create systems to where if you don't show up, the work still gets done. That's basically what it is. There's systems for everything. And we're trying to implement that into our business, and in the process, we're still a smaller business, but systems are basically everybody. You have all these different people lined up. They all have their role and their play, and if you don't show up, everything happens. Everybody knows what to do. You're not the guy that runs everything, So that's. If you get to that point, then it can be more profitable, and then you can have more free time. But to get to that point, you're not going to reach that in a year nor 2 years. It's going to take anywhere from 5 to 10 or more years. It's a process, and a process with a purpose. You need to take those 5-10 years with a purpose of creating systems. Be like, doing everything, designing everything, and training people to follow. And it's a whole nother subject. But yeah, if you're wanting to start a business to get more free time and make more money, I would recommend you to not start a business. And I hope that helps somebody out. Hopefully I can be a blessing with that. And hey, that's it for now. Thank you.